This video is on how to achieve your most ambitious goals. Let's dive right in. Hey, what's up? Welcome. I'm Dr. TJ, a Harvard-trained surgeon and a motivational speaker. In this channel, it is all about you. What if I told you that one of the most famous comedic actors in Hollywood started with absolutely nothing? Not just humble beginnings, nothing. Sleeping in a van on his sister's lawn, dropping out of school at 16 to help support his family, not having money you need. This is the story of someone whose name you definitely know, whose movies you've probably watched dozens of times, but whose real journey, the struggle behind the spotlight, might shock you. And by the end of this video, you'll discover exactly how he went from rock bottom to extraordinary success, and more importantly, the 3 specific methods he used that you can apply to your own life starting today. Plus, I'll reveal the 3 silent destroyers that almost derailed his dreams entirely. Mistakes that millions of people make without even realizing it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to where it all began. Before we dive in, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel right now. It costs you nothing. Trust me, you don't want to miss future videos that could transform your life. Second, drop a comment below telling me which part of the world you're watching this from. Write your city and country. I want to know where in the world this life transformation is taking place. Are you in Paris, New York, Tokyo? Let me know. I read every single comment. Third, and this is crucial, this entire video is interconnected like pieces of a puzzle. Each part builds on the previous one. Don't skip ahead, don't jump around. If you want to learn fully how to achieve your most ambitious goals in your life, you need to watch from beginning to end. The story I'm about to tell you reveals 3 powerful methods for achieving your most ambitious goals, plus the 3 hidden traps that will derail you if you're not careful. But you'll only get the full picture if you stay with me till the very end. Now settle in for the next several minutes, because the story I'm about to share will completely change how you see failure, adversity, and the power of pursuing your goals. By the end, you'll know exactly who this person is, and more importantly, you'll discover exactly how to achieve your most ambitious goals in your life. And stick around until the end, because I'm going to share a personal challenge that could completely change your trajectory. Now let's dive in. Our story begins with the birth of a boy in the suburbs of Toronto, namely Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, on January 17, 1962. He grew up with his parents and 3 older siblings in a working-class family. His father worked as an accountant and a musician. His father played the saxophone. His mother was a homemaker. Nothing fancy, but they had enough. This kid was different from the start. He was a natural entertainer, constantly making his family laugh at the dinner table. His teachers noticed it too. He'd do impressions, crack jokes, perform characters. By age 10, he sent his resume to the Carol Burnett show and received a polite rejection letter. The letter, signed by Carol Burnett, explained they couldn't hire children. This rejection did not stop him. Instead, he felt Hollywood is reachable and held on to his most ambitious goals. His father encouraged his talents every night after coming home from work. His dad would watch him perform routines and tell him he was destined for greatness. The family wasn't rich, but they were happy. They had stability, love, and dreams for the future. The boy was enrolled in school, making friends, developing his craft. Life had a rhythm, a predictable, comfortable rhythm. He would tell you himself, during those early years, everything felt possible. He had a loving family, a special talent, and the unwavering belief that he was going to make it big someday. He certainly had the most ambitious goals, and then everything collapsed. In 1974, when our future star was just 12 years old, his father lost his job. Just like that, the man who had worked faithfully as an accountant for years was suddenly unemployed, and in the economic climate of the late 1970s, finding another job wasn't easy. The family went from comfortable to desperate almost overnight. His father took a job as a security guard and janitor at a factory just to keep food on the table. But it wasn't enough. The whole family had to pitch in. In 1977, this young boy, when he was 15, he launched his professional stand-up comedy appearances, performing at open mic nights at the Yuk Yuk's Comedy Club in Toronto, Canada. His father helped him put together a stage act and drove him downtown Toronto. His mother dressed him in a polyester leisure suit. This was his debut stage act at Yuk Yuk's in 1977. He went prepared with conventional celebrity impersonations and impressions, the kind of polished, safe material you'd see on TV variety shows. But Yuk Yuk's had a much edgier alternative comedy style that his traditional approach didn't fit. The performance was described as awful. He wanted the audience to see him, to laugh, to cheer. Instead, the audience stared. Silence hung heavy, then boos, harsh and unrelenting. It is said that backstage club owner Mark Breslin picked up the microphone and announced to the room, "Totally boring. Totally boring." For a moment, it felt like the world had crumbled around him. He had failed spectacularly. The humiliation could have crushed any teenager. This experience was so humiliating that he stayed away from stand-up comedy for 2 long years after that night. Although he stayed away from live performances, he never gave up on his most ambitious goals. For him, rejection sparked something deeper. Humiliation became his fuel. That, my friends, is the key. Refusing to stop even when hit with major rejection. The power to withstand the hit and the commitment to keep on moving forwards. That's what counts. He didn't quit. Instead, he practiced for hours in front of mirrors, stretching his face, perfecting voices, testing the limits of his body. My friends, this is truly amazing resilience and belief in oneself and the burning desire to make his big ambition a reality. At the same time, life at home continued to be hard, but he still chased his dream. This bombing experience is actually a crucial part of his story. It shows that even for him, one of the most naturally gifted comedians ever, failed spectacularly at first. His success came from learning, adapting, and having the courage to come back after a devastating failure. The next year, in 1978, when he was just 16 years old, this teenager had to drop out of high school and take a job at the same factory as his dad, working 8-hour shifts, doing janitorial work. Imagine that. You're 16, your friends are at school, worried about homework and weekend plans, and you're scrubbing toilets and mopping floors in a factory. Almost like watching your dreams slip away with every passing day. But it got worse. The family lost their home. They couldn't afford rent anymore. For about 8 months, they were homeless. His parents lived in a Volkswagen microbus, Type 2 transporter, parked on his eldest sister's lawn, while he and his brother lived in a tent nearby. A family of 6 scattered between a van and a tent, trying to maintain dignity while everything crumbled around them. The turning point? In 1979, at age 17 years and with more preparation, he returned to the same Yuk club where he was booed out just 2 years earlier. This time he succeeded, moving quickly from open mic nights to regular paid performances. He became a regular headliner and eventually caught the attention of comedian Rodney Dangerfield, who brought him to Las Vegas. Between 1979 and 1981, he toured as opening act for Rodney Dangerfield and built a reputation for himself. In early 1981, at age 19 years, he moved permanently to Los Angeles. He began performing at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard, the most legendary and intimidating comedy club in America. Founded by Mitzi Shore, this was where comedians like Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, and David Letterman had honed their craft. The audiences were notoriously tough, and the competition was fierce. Hundreds of comedians fighting for stage time and the attention of agents and producers in the crowd. Night after night, he took the stage, sometimes succeeding, sometimes bombing, but always learning. This was his real education, the comedy equivalent of combat training. In 1985, when he was struggling and broke, he made an audacious decision. He wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and kept it in his wallet. He would drive up to Mulholland Drive, park, and visualize having directors interested in him and people he respected saying, "I like your work." The check deteriorated over the years but stayed in his wallet as a daily reminder. From 1990 to 1994, he was a regular cast member on the Fox sketch comedy series In Living Color, created by Keenan Ivory Wayans. He had never created characters before that show. It was a whole new process that gave him training. His most famous character was Fire Marshal Bill, that factory worker who dropped out of school. His name? Jim Carrey. In 1994, Jim's big screen breakthrough came when he starred in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, which earned over $72 million at the box office. That same year, he starred in The Mask, which grossed $120 million, and Dumb and Dumber, which made $127 million, establishing him as a major star. Just before Thanksgiving 1995, exactly when Jim had dated that check, Jim found out he was going to make $10 million for Dumb and Dumber. Yes, his dream becoming a reality. Jim's success with these 5 films in 1994 to 1995 led to him becoming the first actor in history to receive an upfront $20 million salary, which he earned for The Cable Guy in 1996. When Jim's father died in 1994, he placed the $10 million check into his father's coffin as a tribute, a symbol that he had achieved the dream they had worked toward together. Why did I tell you the story? Because wherever you are right now, whether you are crushing it or you are struggling, whether you are at the peak or in your own version of that van, wondering if things will ever get better, Jim Carrey's story proves something crucial. Your current situation is not your final destination. Now, here are 3 specific methods, 3 principles that transformed him from a broke factory worker into one of the biggest stars in the world. Method number 1, radical visualization and belief. As mentioned earlier, in 1985, when he was broke and unknown, he drove his beat-up Toyota up to Mulholland Drive, overlooking Los Angeles. He sat there visualizing directors valuing his work, and he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated Thanksgiving 1995, and kept it in his wallet. This wasn't just positive thinking. It was a daily, visceral commitment to a specific outcome. Every time he opened his wallet and saw that check, he was reinforcing the belief that this future was inevitable, not impossible. He later said, "I would visualize things coming to me. I would visualize the life I wanted and felt it with emotion as if it were already real. Method number 2, relentless skill refinement. He didn't just dream, he worked obsessively on his craft, hours upon hours, perfecting impressions, physical comedy, character work. He studied every comedian, every actor, every performer he admired. Partying or relaxing, he was in front of the mirror practicing facial expressions. He was watching films frame by frame to understand timing into a weapon of comedic talent through sheer repetition and dedication. He understood talent might open a door, but only skill keeps it open. Method number 3, taking strategic leaps at critical moments. In 1981, at age 19 years, he made the terrifying decision to move to Los Angeles with almost no money, no connections. He could have stayed in Toronto, where he was becoming locally known, but he knew that comfort was the enemy of greatness. He took the leap. The rest is history. But before he was Jim Carrey, the superstar, he was just a broke kid in a van, wondering if he'd ever escape. Now here are 3 forces that destroy most people's dreams before they even get a chance. Derailer number 1, comfort in suffering. After months of factory work, something dangerous started happening. The routine became familiar. The low expectations became normal. When you're in survival mode long enough, your brain starts to accept it as permanent. You stop dreaming because dreaming hurts too much. He could have stayed, accepted it, told himself this was just how life works for people like him. Derailer number 2, external validation dependency. When you're broke, sleeping in a van, working a dead-end job, the world treats you like you're invisible. No one's cheering for you. No one believes in your Hollywood dreams. And when no one reflects your potential back to you, it becomes almost impossible to believe in yourself. And when it disappears, so do their ambitions. Derailer number 3, fear masquerading as responsibility. Here's the deadliest one. His family needed him. That factory job brought in money. Quitting to chase an uncertain dream felt selfish, irresponsible, even cruel. Fear disguised itself as duty, whispering, "You can't leave, they need you." Growing up means giving up. This is the derailer that kills more dreams than anything else. The belief that pursuing your potential is somehow abandonment of responsibility. Remember, Jim went from nothing to being a Hollywood legend. Now it is your turn. You must take action. Therefore, I want to give you the same challenge Jim gave himself, adapted for you starting today. It is called the 30-day ambitious goals challenge. Step 1, write down one ambitious goal, something that feels almost impossible right now. Not get slightly better at my job, something that genuinely scares and excites you. Step 2, create a physical symbol of that goal. Jim wrote himself a check. You might write yourself a letter from your future self. Creating a vision board. Set a specific date for achievement. Step 3, every single day for 30 days, do 3 things. 1, visualize. Spend 5 minutes seeing and feeling your goal as already accomplished. 2, refine one skill. Take one small action to get better at what you need to master. Number 3, track your micro win. Write down one specific thing you did today toward your goal. And here's what I want you to do right now. In the comments below, write down your one ambitious goal. Make it public, commit to it. And come back in 30 days and tell us your progress. I'll be reading every single comment. I want to celebrate your journey. Whether you're watching from Canada or the United States, United Kingdom, India, Brazil, Australia, or anywhere else in this world, Your starting point doesn't determine your ending point. Jim's story proves that. Jim Carrey went from a factory worker living in a van to a Hollywood legend worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Not because he was lucky, not because it was easy, but because he refused to let circumstances define his destiny. You have that same choice today. Now click on that video that appears on your screen. Remember, if this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos about real people achieving extraordinary things. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, Jim wrote that check when he had nothing. What will you write today? I'll see you in the next video. Now go create your future.